Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is William Lawson, and this is Fight Back, the flagship show of the Fight Back Media Group. We appreciate you being here this afternoon. We hope that you got the message through Facebook or soon to be Twitter, or even Tumblr that we are here today. It is an important. This is an important meeting that we're having today. We're going to do a recap on our adventure this weekend. We were asked to go to Lloyd Marcus's Celebratin Blue celebration in Daytona Beach to speak in encouraging words to our law enforcement officers from around the country, and we're going to recap that. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about the event. Because it's important that we tell the truth about what happened and why it happened and how we can make things better. It's important that this word get out because the mainstream media was not there to cover it. You know what? Come on now. How compelling a story is that? A black man who had been involved in the Tea Party movement since day one is putting on a Blue Lives Matter event in Daytona Beach. And that's not a compelling story. But we'll get into all that as we go along. And we're also going to talk a little bit about Secretary Clinton's health and how I think we should look at that and how we should approach that and tell the truth about what's actually going on. We will expand on my take on Blue Lives Matter, my take on law enforcement and the urban community. I think that I might have been mistaken or been taken. I mean, my viewpoint was mistaken by some people. The position I was taking, or maybe they don't understand it fully. I'll spend some time talking about what I think the urban community's relationship with law enforcement should be, and how we can make it that way. Hopefully, by the end of it, you'll want to see that you'll see the need for a Fight Back Media Group, like I see the need for a Fight Back Media Group, and you'll want to help us. You'll want to go to GoFundMe.com/FightBackPromo and help us and help us monetarily, help us financially. All right, we're gonna take a little break. We'll be back to get started here on Fight Back. The Fight Back Media Group, right after these messages. Listen, this show would not be possible if it weren't for our affiliate partners. If it wasn't for people like Gary Knight at New Homes Tampa Bay. If it weren't like Kevin Batts at theredriverchronicle.com. So, it is getting near the end of the month, so let's talk about the Red River Chronicle. The Red River Chronicle is a website that is full of fantastic conservative articles, conservative educational tools. I think that's the coolest thing. Spent 15 years in teaching in the public school system, and you know what? These educational tools are something that you can use yourself, that you can use in a classroom setting, that you can direct students to, sort of on the sly. Because it's, frankly, I think the battle is just like that. If you're working in the public school system, and you're in a social studies classroom, I use social studies because it's the easiest transition. And a student comes to you and says, where do I learn more about conservatives? Well, the very first place you should send them is not townhall.com, is not the Rush Limbaugh site, or even the Willie Lawson show necessarily. You need to send them right to the redriverchronicle.com. Articles written in a scholarly way, primarily information about Oklahoma and Texas, but from a very conservative standpoint. And you know what? Kevin Batts is black, so that helps your students because that throws away and destroys the left's picture of who's supposed to be conservative. So you can also, on that site, that student will have access to Hillsdale College lectures, which I think are invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. And there's also an app that they can purchase. I did. It's all of 99 cents. I purchased it. It keeps you up to date with what's going on the redriverchronicle.com website. That's the redriverchronicle.com website. The finest in conservative information and education. Information is crucial when you're looking to purchase a new home. With so many choices of communities and options, choosing the right one for you and your family can be a daunting task. That's why you need to go to New Homes of Tampa Bay right now, www.newhomestpa.com, and get the information you need. Learn how people save thousands of dollars when purchasing new homes. Buy like the pros. New Homes Tampa Bay, www.newhomestpa.com. You're tired of the cold? You're tired of the taxes? It's time to move to Florida. And our friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay is the perfect person to help you. You can just give Gary a call at 813-770-9452, or you can go to the website to look for your brand new home at www.newhomestpa.com. Move to Florida. It's about time. All right, we're back with more Fight Back here on Spreaker, and this show is going to be uploaded a little later to iHeartRadio. So we appreciate the folks at iHeart. We appreciate the folks at Spreaker, and wherever else you hear this. Hopefully, you're hearing it from the Fight Back website. That's still a Wix site. Hopefully, by week's end, we'll have a top domain fightbackmedia.com site that you can get all the Fight Back Media Group information you need from one place. Right now it's kind of spread out. We're just getting started. This is week 3. So at week 3, I think we're doing pretty good. We covered two events. We covered a presidential event. We covered a senatorial event. We saw Donald Trump and Marco Rubio. We spoke at a Blue Lives Matter event. We got a lot done. In 3 weeks, we've got a lot. You know what? I'm tired. I'll be honest with you, but and we're fledgling, but we got a lot done. We've gotten a lot done in in 3 weeks. This is beginning of the 3rd week, so in 2 weeks we got an awful lot done. And with your help, we can get a lot more done. And that's the thing. With your help, we can get a lot more done. If we can hit all these events in 2 weeks, imagine what we could do with full funding if we're able to max out our get our budget for the month, which is $1,000. We need $1,000 a month, I think, to grow and do what we need to do and get to what we need to do, and do what we need to do when we get there. And this Saturday we were able to do just that. Lloyd Marcus, and you've heard of Lloyd Marcus. Lloyd Marcus is a singer, an entertainer, and a true patriot, a lover of the Constitution, a lover of America. And Lloyd was gracious enough to have me speak at an event that he held in Daytona Beach. That event was the Blue Lives Celebratin' Blue. It was a celebration of law enforcement, and I thought that it was great. I thought that it went well. I met some great people. Michael Massey was there. The police chief of the Daytona Police Department was there. I met make sure I have his card. His name is Peter Fernandez, and we're going to talk more about these folks for sure. He is an Orlando Sheriff's detective, and he and some of his friends founded Wounded Officers Initiative. That their purpose is to help those law enforcement officers that were wounded and injured in the line of duty. And I had some great conversation with him, and I hope to have him on the show soon, and that way we could build a partnership so we can help them. And of course, I got to meet the famous Lloyd Marcus. I had not met Lloyd Marcus, and I was certainly glad I did. It was worth the price of admission to get over and be close to somebody who I think is so incredibly important to the liberty movement in America, and such an important voice that must be heard in the urban community. That the urban community, frankly, right now knows nothing about, which is awful and terrible that they don't know anything about. That they don't know anything about. And they should. And they definitely should. Because Lloyd Marcus has a message that is healthy for the urban community. Now, it's like, but it's like any other medicine. It may not taste good or feel good, but it's really, really important. It is very, very important. So we're going to let you hear a little from a couple of clips from Lloyd Marcus so you get an idea of who this gentleman is. We're going to play through some videos, some audio for some videos, or try to here. That way you get an idea of who Lloyd Marcus is, and then we'll talk about what happened at the event.
Folks, I am so excited because I am here at the Daytona Beach Ocean Center, and this is the site that we are going to have my Blue Lives Matter rally. I want to honor America's brave men and women in blue. I think it's despicable the way that Black Lives Matter and so many other folks in the mainstream media are sending out this narrative that the police are out there murdering blacks. That is not correct, and that has caused the assassination of numerous cops. Well, at this Blue Lives Matter rally, we are going to celebrate all of those brave police officers who were assassinated. We talked to the manager of the hall here. It's going to cost us about $2,000 to rent this hall, and then we have to pay the production company to run the video and all of that. So we need some funding, folks. We want you to send in funding so we can make this rally happen. The rally is going to happen September the 10th. That's a Saturday, and it's going to happen around 11 o'clock and probably to 2 or later. But we want to get at least 500 people here, maybe even 1,000. The hall can hold them. But we got to get this thing funded. The first thing we have to do is get the deposit to hold. Folks, this is Lloyd Marcus here in Daytona Beach. These people are nuts over Donald Trump. And look at the broad demographic of people here for Donald Trump. They are standing out here in this 100 degrees
Daytona Beach, Donald Trump
weather.
t-shirt.
They are excited about Donald Trump. I don't care what the mainstream media is telling you. The public is excited about Donald Trump. And look at these people.
All right. Yeah, that first one was a promo video when he was trying to get money to get money to hold the event. All these things cost money, and that's the deal. All of these things cost money. So that's why I don't have any problem with asking you to help what we're doing here at Fight Back Media Group, because all these things cost money. You know what? I didn't get to travel across the state for free, and Lloyd didn't get to put on this event for free. None of these things happen for free, and they'll only happen and continue to happen. We will only get to push back the mainstream media narrative with your help if we do it together. We also, we talk big noise about grassroots stuff, except when we have to get out of our wallet, when we have to open up our purse. Then we're looking for somebody else to do it. Then we're looking for the Republican Party to come through with some cash. Then we're looking for, the Heritage Foundation or somebody else to come through with some big bucks. And sometimes that happens, but frankly, it's not the best way. The best way is that you and I come out of our pockets with $5 or $10, and a lot of us do it, so we can make these events happen. We can provide a platform for people who need to speak, and to speak into the universe, who speak into these communities that so desperately need this message. Unfortunately, like I said, I was going to tell you the good, bad, and the ugly about the event. Let's start off with, was it a well-attended event? Well, no, not in person. I don't know how many people watched online. I do know there were some, because I was hearing from them on my phone. They were texting me on my phone during the event, so I know there were some people out there who watched the online stream that was on Google Hangouts and YouTube. However, there were not, and I'd like to say there were 1,000 people there, but there were not 1,000 people there. And there was basically not 1,000 people there for a couple of reasons. Let me hip you to why they were. Because if I don't tell you the truth, mainstream media, when they finally cover it, will tell you a lie. They weren't there for two reasons, basically. The first reason is that the event was basically conceived and executed in a fairly short amount of time, which made it hard to promote. And because it was going to be difficult to promote, what didn't happen was there wasn't enough funds to do adequate promotion. Again, one of those things, you can't put up billboards, you can't put up signs, you can't get flyers, you can't get radio time, you can't do all that stuff without money. And I guess we're going to start talking, we're really going to concentrate on the funding of these things. Because if you don't fund them, they won't happen. They just won't happen. Every speaker, one of the good things, every speaker was honed in on the importance of law enforcement. And the speakers weren't just anti-Black Lives Matter. It wasn't, and I know that there's some people who are not happy that I went. Some people who are in my community who are not happy that I went and not happy that I spoke because the mainstream media narrative and the pop culture narrative that if it's anything else lives matter, then that's anti-Black Lives Matter. If it's at the same time, people who are in the Black Lives Matter movement, quote, end quote, will say just because they say Black Lives Matter, it does not mean that nobody else matters. So if I say Blue Lives Matter, according to Black Lives Matter proponents, that means that somehow Black lives don't matter. You get how weird that is? You get how self-serving that is? And mainstream media continues to push that narrative. This was not an anti-Black Lives Matter rally. It did point out some. It did point out some faults and failures in the Black Lives Matter movement. As a matter of fact, the Black Lives Matter movement is based on a lie. It's based on something that didn't happen. It's based on hands up, don't shoot, which never happened in Ferguson, Missouri. It never happened in the Mike Brown shooting. It never happened. Mike Brown was trying to wrestle Darren Wilson's gun from him. And there were witnesses there. There were black witnesses there who saw what happened. And when they testified at the grand jury, they told the grand jury that hands up, don't shoot didn't happen. Now, did that stop mainstream media? No. Once they found out the truth, did that stop them? No. Chicks on MSNBC sitting there with their hands up for then St. Louis Rams players coming out of the tunnel, hands up, don't shoot, promoting and promulgating something that never happened. And all of this is pushing a narrative that is encouraging urban America to have an adversarial relationship with the police department. What I tried to share with people during my time there, actually, I think I have the MP3 file, and I will share with you exactly what I said if I can get to the right point in the MP3 file before the end of the show. But suffice it to say is that the main point of my time there was to make sure that people knew that the urban community, it is vital to have a vibrant relationship with law enforcement for not only safety reasons but economic reasons. Nobody brings businesses or starts businesses in places they perceive as dangerous. Nobody moves willingly to places they perceive as dangerous. So it is important that law enforcement be used as a tool to keep urban America as safe as possible. Raise your hand. Who's ready to move to East St. Louis? Well, why aren't you ready to move to East St. Louis? It's in the breadbasket of America. I'm sure there are nice people there. It's got decent weather. It's cold in the wintertime when I guess it's supposed to be cold, and it's warm in the summertime. Why don't you want to move to East St. Louis? Because you know that it has the highest murder rate in the country. That's why you don't want to move there. Because you perceive it, and correctly so, as dangerous. So what we have to do is not cry and bitch about perception if that perception happens to be correct. We have to be more upset that it is correct. Not that someone says that East St. Louis is the murder capital of America. It has the highest murder rate in America. That we're not upset that somebody said it. We're upset that we should be upset that it's true. And we have to use law enforcement as a tool to make it not true. But in order to use law enforcement as a tool, we've got to have a vibrant relationship, a substantive relationship with local law enforcement. That's the key. That's the key. And I believe, as a conservative, at the very same time, doing our best to maintain people's personal freedoms. We can't get locked down like a police state. We have to continue to maintain people's personal freedoms. So the balance is that there's got to be cooperation between the community leaders and law enforcement. That's the path. There isn't really any other path. There's nothing unilateral that anybody can do from the community or law enforcement to fix all the problems. And I'm not even asking, and I think it's silly to ask that every change be made by law enforcement, and I think it's equally dumbass that every change be made by the community, by people in the community. I think the only way to do this is to act like adults, come and sit down at the table and build a relationship. See what you can do to build a relationship. It's vital for the survival and the safety of the community and the survival and the safety of the police officers. Don't you think? But I know this doesn't get you fired up and ready to march and throw bricks and bottles and start fires. No. This message doesn't do that. This message doesn't make you grab a flag and go marching down the street in the worst neighborhood in your town with a big banner that says Blue Lives Matter. No, it doesn't excite you that way either, does it? But it sure as hell makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Sure as hell will save a whole bunch of lives, won't it? Because that's what we have to do. If we really believe that all lives matter, then we need to do the best we can to start acting like it, to start acting toward it. And that's going to require a lot of cooperation. That's going to require a lot of uncomfortable conversations between the urban community and law enforcement that's charged to protect and serve it. A lot of those conversations will be extremely uncomfortable for everybody. But unless we start having those conversations, then we're doomed. Then, frankly, we are doomed to what we have, or even worse. Okay, if you like what we're saying here, if you like what we're doing here, you have to help us. You have to help us. And the way that you can help us is to go to GoFundMe.com/fightbackpromo and donate what you can. You will see there that our goal for the month is $1,000. We are $475 away from it. My goal is to reach that 475 mark today. Today. That came out, didn't it? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Today. So we can get back to work and not have to keep asking for money all month. That's one of the things that bogs us down, that we have to keep asking for money every month. When if we could make our budget early in the month, we can just get to work. Which is what you want to see us do. You just want to see us get to work. You don't want to see me begging for money every day on this show and every day on the internet. What you want to see is what that money is doing and how we're actually getting in the community and making changes. There's a big event coming up on October 8th that you want to be a part of. I can't tell you details yet because I don't have all the details. I have to talk to one of my people. But, Bear, is that you? Come on in. But as soon as I do, I thought that somebody was coming into the studio. I think it's a cat. But on October 8th, we're going to have something that's going to be a national thing that you want to be a part of, that you want to help us be a part of. So, listen, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with more Fight Back right after these messages. Enjoy them.
Show you how I would deliver this conservative message to the black community. Can I do that real quick? I hear you. I feel you. I get it. Life in your America sucks. Your parents didn't care or weren't there. The schools or lost to drugs. You want to do the right thing, but all it takes is one time, one mistake for everything to go wrong. And picking yourself up seems impossible because you can't get a job when you have a record. You're sleeping on your mama's couch because you can't afford your own space. You feel unfit to parent your children because your life is so screwed up. What in the hell are you going to teach them? I get it. I know. But you are being surrounded by the people that championed your track. They developed your public housing. They took control of your education. They sent your fathers to jail for nonviolent offenses. Made single motherhood cool by calling it feminism. Built the police force through unionization you claim harass you. And now when you're fed up, they give agitators reign to burn down your city. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. If your friends are yelling for death and destruction, do they actually want change? Is that what you live in now? Democrats want to be the party of the poor. In order for that to happen, they have to keep you poor. You always have to fight the oppressors. That will mean you are always oppressed. You call us the party of the rich. And I'm straight out of Stacey South. Well, I had it written down already. We just say it like you call us the party of the rich. And I'm not going to be spineless like those who run from it. I'm not rich, but by the grace of God, I will be. I love the feeling of security. I love being financially dependent on no one but myself and my husband. I love being able to provide my daughters with Nikes and books, an iPad and robotic chips. It is a great feeling. Now come and eat with us. Come and eat with us. If you are tired of being poor and overlooked, come and eat at a table that believes in ownership and growth. See, we won't begrudge your success because we know that the next dinner is on you.
Sonny Johnson, one of the voices that we want to promote, that we need. That's a medicine. That's the medicine that needs to get into the urban community right there. That's the medicine that needs to get into the urban community. And it needs to get into the urban community through an organization like Fight Back Media Group, where we push back the mainstream media narrative that is dangerous and detrimental to the urban community, that continues to hold the urban community in bondage. It's Fight Back Media Group. Right now you can go to www.gofundme.com/fightbackpromo. We've got $475 to reach our goal of $1,000. We need $1,000 a month to operate, to be in all the places that we need to be, to have the cash to get in a car, or to even possibly even get on an airplane and be where we need to be to spread this correct narrative for the urban community and America at large. It's so very vital to, I don't think, just the urban community's future in America, but America in total. All right, listen. We saw yesterday at a 9/11 event that Democrat candidate for President Hillary Clinton had a little, a little health thing, a little health emergency. We have videotape of her being loaded into a car, a SUV, that from the outside, and I don't want to get all, whatever, because I didn't like it when they did it to in 2008 to John McCain, when he talked about his age and his health, but it did seem like she wasn't doing. It seems like Secretary Clinton wasn't doing well. It didn't seem like they put her in the front seat of a car and whisked her off. As a matter of fact, they had her waiting on the curb because the car couldn't get there fast enough. The official word was that she overheated. It was 9:45 in the morning in New York, and it was 77 degrees. Now, I'm going to try to be as fair as I possibly can. I don't know if she was wearing a bulletproof vest, a flak jacket. So if you're wearing a flak jacket, it's going to add 20 pounds, maybe even 30 pounds, depending on what it's made of. And it doesn't breathe. So you're hotter in there than you would be if you were wearing normal clothing. She's 69 years old. Like my friend Tim said, she's a 70-year-old granny. So maybe wearing this, maybe outside in 77-degree weather, and it wasn't like they were in the shade, I don't think, from the picture I saw. She's wearing this, this 25-pound flak jacket under her clothing. And again, she's no spring chicken. Maybe she did overheat. Maybe the official word is that Secretary Clinton's got pneumonia. And you know what? I told somebody at church that they say that Hillary's got pneumonia, and the first thing he said to me, well, I went to work with pneumonia. And the first thing I said to him is, I spent 3 days in the hospital with pneumonia, getting a potassium drip. And the doctor said that if I had not gone in when I did, I wouldn't have made it through the weekend. I would have died of pneumonia. So I know a lot of people think that pneumonia is no big deal. Thinking like it's like having a really, really, really bad cold. No, it's not like having a really, really bad cold. Your lungs are filling with fluid, which explains the coughing fits that you just can't recover from because you can't breathe. I had a big coughing fit. See, I'm again trying to be fair and being able to draw on my own and be able to draw on my own experience. I had a big coughing fit the night I went to the hospital before having cardiac arrest. I didn't have pneumonia, but I did have a lung infection. I could not catch my breath. I could not stop coughing. It was awful. And I wasn't speaking in front of a crowd, and I wasn't 70 years old. I was 52 years old, and I was home inside at night in an air-conditioned home. In a condition I should have felt a lot better, except I was sick. As it turned out, I had congestive heart failure. I suffer with congestive heart failure. So there's lots of things other than just being old, other than having pneumonia. Now, again, pneumonia isn't just like having a bad cold. It's caused by any number of things, bacteria or virus, that fills your lungs with fluid, with water. Makes it hard to breathe. Makes it hard to talk. Can give you the infection can give you a really high fever, which makes you hallucinate, which gives some people seizures. Pneumonia is badass. Pneumonia is badass for really young people and really old people. Like I posted in the GoFundMe, I've had pneumonia and it's terrible. And if that's what the Secretary Clinton has, then we wish her the best. We wish her a complete health recovery, that she does what the doctor told her to do, and that she recovers fully. Because that's how we roll here. You know what? I have seen posts already saying that, oh my God, she's going to pull out or she's going to die, and if she pulls out or she dies, that's all they're concerned with. I'm like, what? This woman is ill. Are we the Christians that we purport to be? Who are we? I don't agree with her. I don't want her to be president. But you know what? I don't want her to be sick either. I'm not going to be like the leftists that write comments on my YouTube videos that I should kill myself. I'm not going to be them. As we fight, we're not going to turn into our enemy. And that's really the important part about Fight Back Media Group, that we don't have anybody who we are promoting who is going to turn into our enemy. We're not going to justify it by saying something childish like, well, they do it. We're going to win because because all of us understand that we are not fighting against flesh and blood. We are fighting against spirits and principalities. We're fighting against evil. We're fighting against a voice that is loud, that is speaking in our community, that is speaking death, destruction, and poverty into our community. And it's time to turn that off and start speaking life into our community. Start speaking love in our community. It's time to turn off the big N of negativity. And start turning up God's love in these communities. We have got to fight back that negative, horrible, leftist agenda, that narrative that keeps pumping death and destruction into our community, into the urban community, that spills out into the general community. That's what Fight Back Media Group is all about, and we need your help, and we gotta have your help to do it. Again, the remainder of this month's budget is $475. It's interesting that if only 40 people hear this, it would take a little bit more than $10 for you guys to knock it out. If only 40 people hear this. What I'm sure is that more than 40 people will hear it. If 80 people hear it, it'd take about $6 or $7 a piece to knock it out. It is the 12th of September. I would like to be done with meeting the budget today and spend the rest of the month preparing for this huge event that we're going to be a part of on October 8th. When we get done with the show, I'm gonna call my contact in California and get more details. Shirley Huzar, the head of Urban Game Changers, and get more details. I'm very, very excited about it. It's going to be one of those things where you're going to see it, feel it, be a part of it, and we will have helped it happen, and then you will see the benefit, the important benefit of Fight Back Media Group, what we're all about, how we plan on making the change, how we're going to go about making the change. We're not just going to talk about it, we're going to be about it. Let us get done with that today. And again, I hope that Secretary Clinton is going to be healthy. She's going to be okay. I've not heard anything today. I make a point of, if I'm going to be home before I go into the studio, I don't listen to any TV or watch, especially daytime TV. I just can't watch it. I don't know if you can, but I just can't watch daytime TV. I can't watch Good Morning America. I can't watch the Today Show or the CBS Morning News because it makes me angry. How some people sit and watch CNN all day, good Lord, I will never know. It puts me in a mental state that makes it very hard to say some of the things that I've already said today. So I try not to. So I'm real careful about what goes in the ear gates and the eye gates as far as that goes. Well, there you go. Listen, we're going to take another little break. Thanks so much for coming to Fight Back, a product of Fight Back Media Group. My name is Willie Lawson. We'll be back right after these messages. Nothing fits a home perfectly than a brand new grand piano. And if you're looking for a piano for your brand new home, you've got to visit Dave's Piano. And that's davespianoshowroom.com. If you're looking for the perfect thing to set off your new home, a piano is what you're looking for. And my friend Dave has the perfect piano for you. And the best thing about buying a piano from Dave is that he does everything. He delivers, he sets up, he tunes, he takes care of everything. The best part about Dave's piano, quite frankly, is Dave. So when you buy a piano from Dave's Piano Showroom, you only deal with Dave. You can reach them at www.davespianoshowroom.com. That's davespianoshowroom.com. It's all the rage to call and order flowers from 1-800-whatever, or go online and order them from some nameless, faceless person on the other end. I'm saying you should do something different. You should, before doing that, call my friends at Blooming Days Flower Shop, located right here in Tampa, Florida, at 11618 North Florida Avenue, 33612. Christine and her staff don't look at just the order. They look at the customer. They look at your occasion. They consider the entire person, the entire occasion, before making decisions about design and price. You're more than just a customer. You're a friend. Call our friends at Blooming Days Flower Shop, toll free at 1-800-330-3297. 1-800-330-3297. Local 813-971-5947. 813-971-5947. You can reach them on the web at www.bloomingdays.com. Information is crucial when you're looking to purchase a new home. With so many choices of communities and options, choosing the right one for you and your family can be a daunting task. That's why you need to go to New Homes of Tampa Bay right now, www.newhomestpa.com, and get the information you need. Learn how people save thousands of dollars when purchasing new homes. Buy like the pros. New Homes Tampa Bay, www.newhomestpa.com. All right, we're back with more of Fight Back here on Spreaker and iHeartRadio. Thank you ever so much for tuning in today. I trust that I was able to hip you to my idea about what the relationship between law enforcement and urban America needs to be. It is vital. It is so important that relationship work, that it not be adversarial. But that relationship work. It's got to work. If that relationship doesn't work, then we're going to be in trouble. We are going to be in trouble if there's always mistrust at the highest, most dangerous levels. It's going to be problematical. And if indeed we continue to see the trend that we're seeing right now, and that trend is that a lot of the community policing that had made such gains in urban America, police departments are backing away from because they don't want to be involved in incidents. So they're staying away from those communities, and what we're starting to see is the bad guys are taking over. The bad guys are back, and they're taking over. And that's exactly the opposite of what you need. That's the exact opposite of what should happen. So again, it is important to have a vibrant, healthy relationship with the urban community. Must have that with local law enforcement. It cannot be adversarial. Now, I tell you what, it has got to be honest. Everybody's got to be honest, including law enforcement. Everybody's got to be honest. And the idea of protecting, each other, in the brotherhood. If you've got a bad cop, if you've got a bad officer who's done some bad things, then you got to fess up. You have to. You don't have any choice. Both sides of that relationship, of any relationship, has got to be honest with one another. That's the deal. If that and if you don't have honesty in any relationship, it's going to fall apart. So that's really the important part about building that relationship. Okay, I'm trying to find the. This is really hard to do, talking and having something else going on in your ear, but that's what professionals do. Now, as we grow, because of your help, I won't have to do this by myself. I'll have help. So we're going to now some of this audio is still not the greatest audio, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I'm going to go ahead and have you, instead of just recapping what I said, I'm actually going to have you listen to what I said while I was there, as much as you can make out. Some of but you can get through it. But you can get through it because you know what? That's what you do. You listen to the crap on the internet, so you're used to any form of whatever. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this played so you can hear it. This is me at the Celebratin Blue event in Daytona Beach with Lloyd Marcus.
And he continues to promote the conservative message on the internet and in his community. Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Lawson. Well, good afternoon, Lloyd. Thanks again for allowing me. It's always to be able to see friendly faces. And so much has been said today about how we got into this mess. There isn't any doubt in my mind that the importance of law enforcement in having a community that can thrive. A lot of the problems that groups like BLM and New Black Panthers and the Urban League and the NAACP say they care about have more to do with cultural and economic problems that they cause, that the people that they elect have caused. The only thing, like someone else has said, between prosperity and complete disaster has been law enforcement. It's the only thing that's preserved the community. Now, if anyone is interested at all in about the things they say they're interested in, it is so important. And people who are watching, people who are here, watching on the internet, have to understand that it's important that the urban community develop and maintain outside of the mainstream media narrative. They must have vibrant and really tight relationships with law enforcement. Why? Because you can't get businesses to come to your neighborhood to provide the jobs that you need to keep your kids off the street while there's chaos. You can't have it both ways. You can't have chaos and economic development. We have politicians that continually go to Tallahassee and Washington, D.C. and say, we're going to bring economic development to your urban community. And what they do with that money is they build a park. And what happens in that park is that people sell drugs in that park and add more poison to those very same communities. What doesn't happen, and I've said this a million times, is we don't get an industrial park, we get swings. And they call that economic development in the urban communities. Because we have swings. Now, if you think back, I'm crazy, but you think back, anytime there's been any sort of disruption or upset in the urban community anywhere in America, the very next thing you see is a bunch of politicians standing next to a ribbon and a fake pair of scissors opening a rec center. That's the very next thing you see. It's the most racist thing you could ever imagine, because the idea is that if you keep them entertained, they won't burn down their own cities. And that's their solution. Our solution is this. Our solution is that we make sure that we can have a vibrant urban community because it counts. Because, frankly, it isn't black and white, it's green that makes these communities work. Because they provide all the infrastructure for being successful. At any time that if you think it's anything different, you've been sucked in by the mainstream media and leftist narrative. What Fight Back Media is all about is fighting that narrative. It's a narrative that's been nothing but destructive to the urban community. And when people think these things, and because we don't get these sort of statistics out into where they need to be, it's because mainstream media is protecting, and the people who support them are protecting their position, their power, and their prosperity. Because if the truth ever got out, they'd be through. If the medicine ever got to the communities that were sick, they would be healed.
All right, and like I said, if the medicine ever got to the communities that were sick, they'd be healed, and they wouldn't need big government. They wouldn't listen anymore to the mainstream media narrative that would that spreads destruction and hate and poverty into their communities. If these communities ever got healed, if the wound of slavery ever got healed, really healed, and so we could see life, then a lot of these leftist people would be through. They would be through. They'd be on the they'd be on the public dole, but it'd be much, much different. Their voice would be done. They'd be silenced forever, because all the stuff that would be coming out of their pie hole would be crap and stupid stuff, and it would be seen for what it is. Which is why they fight like hell to make sure people like me and Sonny Johnson and K. Carl Smith, C.L. Bryant, Shirley Huzar, Alfonso Rachel, Bob Parks, Lloyd Marcus, Michael Massey are marginalized. That's why they do their best to make sure that we're marginalized. And that's why they run, and they can't wait to cover people like Colin Kaepernick. I couldn't give a tinker's damn if Colin Kaepernick stands, sits, kneels, stands on his head, shoves his head up his ass, doing the national anthem. I don't care. I don't care. Because there's many more important messages, many more important message and much more important messages to be covered and to be promoted. Isn't it cute? Millionaire quarterback identifies with black folks. Isn't that cute? Well, who gives a damn? There are real things being said by people who are doing real work and really give a damn about the urban community. Fight Back Media Group is here to help them so we can help you. My name is Willie Lawson. Thank you ever so much for coming today to Fight Back, the flagship show of the Fight Back Media Group. Please help us out at gofundme.com/fightbackpromo. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you.